Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? I'm doing all right. A little stuffed up, but everything's all right here. Just a little bored. I've got an email from Netflix saying that I watch everything on Netflix, which is good. So I'm on to Prime and maybe some Apple Plus. But anyway, enough small talk. Heard you guys did great, and we're gonna use blue today. So what do you think of that? This is the easiest lesson you'll ever have. So, what are we doing here? All right, let me wake up. No, blue's not gonna work. Let's go with a nice. Let's go with a nice purple. Reciprocal trig ratios are cosecant, CSC, secant, SEC, and the cotangent, COT. They are found by taking the reciprocal of the primary trig ratios. Now we have 6 trig ratios for given angles. We had SOHCAHTOA, so you know, remember that? If not, go watch the video. And now we have cosecant, secant, and cotangent. Why? I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe somebody said we don't need SOHCAHTOA. What we're going to do is we're going to have something different. So what they did was they flipped these. So 1 over sine is now cosecant, which is not O over H, but H over O. And secant is not is 1 over cosine, so it's not A over H, but it's H over A. Ha. And then cotangent is 1 over tan, which is A over O. So some people like SOHCAHTOA, others like to use this. Cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite, and then secant is hypotenuse over adjacent, and then cotangent is what's this? That's it. What? Cotangent is adjacent over opposite. So some people say SOHCAHTOA, some people say choshakao. Yeah. I gotta feel like I could have pulled that off better in class. Maybe if I didn't have to go with it anyway. You don't have to memorize that. Just know you're gonna get this. Everything's open book anyway. But cosecant, it's this is how I remember it. Cotangent goes with tangent. That's easy. And then C goes with S, right? Cosecant goes with sine, and secant goes with cosine. So C goes with S, S goes with C. I don't know if that's easy to remember, but it's not. Or you can just remember Chosha Gao. Put an accent there. Accent aigu. So what's that mean? That means if you have this and you're looking from an angle, let's look from A, and we label this hypotenuse and then opposite and adjacent, and I say what's sine? Well, sine's 4 over 5, opposite over adjacent, right? So opposite over adjacent. No, opposite over hypotenuse, 4 over 5. And then cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So it will be adjacent, which is 3 over 5. And then tangent is 4 over 3 over A. And then you can either just flip these to get these guys. So cosecant is found by flipping sine. And secant is found by flipping cosine. And then cotangent is found by flipping tangent. Or, if you don't have those, you can go ahead and you can find them, right? So you can go, what's H over O? H, O, and then write it like that, 5 over 4, 5 over 3. 3/4. Notice on your calculators you may see these buttons, you may not. I don't know. Most calculators have them or not. We're going to show that you don't need them because we're going to work backwards. We're going to go from here to here, and then we're going to solve these problems. So you're not going to learn anything new today. You're just going to do the same problems as we've done, but now I'm going to give you this stuff, and then you're going to change it from cosecant back to sine, or secant back here, or cotangent back here, and then you're going to answer the question. So it's very, very easy. This is an easy lesson. Let me erase this, because you know I don't like to be sloppy. All right, now what? Number 1. Oh, let's go over. Let's go with a nice green. Number 1. I missed. Number 1. If cotangent is 5 over 16 and theta is an acute angle, solve for theta to the nearest degree. Okie dokie. Well, you don't do that question. Okay? Just like I don't do certain things. Okay? I don't do this. I don't remember we talked about this. I don't do this. I do this. Put that together. Okay? You don't do questions with two signs, and you don't do anything with cotangent. Okay? And stay away from bad things too. No vaping. Don't do cotangent and don't vape. Facts. Cotangent. 5 over 16. So tangent is 16 over 5. You just flip it. And then you answer the question. The other thing I wanted to say is you can have, these numbers now can be bigger than 1. So cosecant and secant can be bigger than 1. Tangent always could have, and cotangent can also. So then you just throw this in a calculator, and you say, find this. And then if I said to you tan theta is 16 over 5, you would hit second function tan 16 over 5, and then your calculator says 73 degrees. And then you could also say this, hold on a second, we have Cass law, so guess what? If cosine is positive here, then secant is positive in this quadrant. Everything is still positive here. If sine is positive here, cosecant is positive here, and cotangent will be positive in this quadrant. So wherever the reciprocal is positive or negative, then so is the original. Because if you flip a fraction with a sign, it still will have the same sign. So that will flip to negative whatever. That will flip to positive whatever. And so if I told you that cotangent was 5 over 16, it's positive. It has to be positive in this quadrant and this quadrant. So again, I don't really do this question. I'm looking at if cotangent is this, then I'm going to just answer this question. Where's tangent positive? Tangent is positive here and here. Okay, so we're not going to come up with another Cass law for the reciprocal angles. Okay, so if tangent is positive here in that quadrant, then so is cotangent, and if that's the case, third quadrant, you go 180 plus theta to get the second angle. Okie dokie. Same with this one. Secant is root 2. So this might look a little funny. Why am I saying root 2? Well, go back to your tables. This is a special triangle. Question. And I don't know why I said it like that. Question. And if secant is root 2, cosine is the reciprocal, is 1 over root 2. Look that up in your table. Theta is 45. If cosine is positive in these quadrants. How do you get to the fourth quadrant? You subtract theta from 360. I just give myself a check mark there. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going here. Cosecant is negative 2 over root 3. So whenever you see anything that looks a little funky here, where you have roots, you might say to yourself, that looks like it's a special triangle, but it doesn't look right. Well, just flip it, right? Because cosecant is negative 2/3. The reciprocal of cosecant is sine, so sine theta is negative root 3 over 2, which is when theta is 60. Man, do I hope that I turn the volume on for this microphone. Otherwise, well, we'll find out. Anyway, theta is 60, and then, but we said this is negative, so where are we negative? We're positive for sine here and here, right? Cass law says positive here and here, which means negative here and here. So we're going to take it to the third quadrant, take it to the fourth quadrant by adding to 180 and subtracting from 360. Okay, and the last one's pretty much the same. I'll let you look at that one. Oh, no, it's not at all. I don't know why I lied. I can't move this up. So here it's saying find the trig ratios for 225. Well, 225 is in the third quadrant, and 180 plus theta is 225, so theta is 45. Well, you just go in your table and you find that the ratios, for sine, cos, and tan are the following. Okay, so use your table for that. But because you're in the third quadrant, you got to remember that only tangent is positive, so these guys have to be negative. Then to get the reciprocals, flip them. So cosecant, I'm actually holding the page up. This is kind of weird. Cosecant is the reciprocal of negative 1 over root 2, which is root 2 over 1 negative, which just cleans up to negative root 2. And everything else goes from there. This is easy. Okay, you guys are smart. Help each other out. And I will hope to see you soon. And Email if you have any questions, but you won't because you're all bright.